should have brought the anyways. Hey y'all, how you doing? Okay, so I have somewhat accepted that the picture quality is just gonna be crappy and just bear with me. I'm new to this and um I'm trying to just be authentic. I'm trying to be my real and authentic self. I'm trying to give you a real view of what my day-to-day life actually looks like, not the life that I may necessarily project to the world. What I mean simply is I'm going out today, so I'm gonna fix some curls, put all my makeup on. I don't wear a lot of makeup, but I'm gonna be glammed. I'm gonna look good. I'm gonna look decent. I'm gonna look presentable. Not that I don't look presentable at home, but that's not the realistic. That's not the everyday. That's not what I'm separating my time for. I get up, I get showered, I brush my teeth, I make sure I get dressed every day, which is new. I wasn't always doing that either. So don't even, if you're not at that point in your life, you'll get there. If you want to get there, you'll get there. Don't put a lot of pressure on yourself to have everything accomplished that you want right away because it takes time and it takes practice. It takes you getting up and figuring out, number one, it takes you figuring out exactly what it is that you want. And then once you decide what it is that you want, some people, they are able to just jump right in and start doing it and they never slow down. Other people, they jump in, they start doing it. They can only go for a week or two. And then you have your third person that can't even really get started and they can't make it past your thoughts. I say first person, second person, third person. But quite honestly, I've been in all those stages of my life, right? All those versions have been me. There's been times in my life where I can execute without a problem. There's been times in my life where I can't get it past a thought. And there's been times where I just couldn't stay motivated. Now, over time, I have uncovered some reasons for the lack of motivation. I've uncovered some reasons for pretty much everything. And as you uncover those reasons, you can begin to really address them, right? So each time you fail, you fall back, then you can figure out what made you fall or what slight adjustments you can make each time. I know I talked about this on a previous video, but failing is your friend, right? And it's not because we love to fail or we don't feel, some kind of way about not succeeding. It's just that the reality is every time you don't get it right, you learn something new. And that's the key. You learn something new. You learn, why didn't I get it right? So the topic of my conversation today is what is the topic? That's me and my memory. Um, the real test. That's my topic for today's conversation. It's the real test. The real test of your will is not when everything is going great. The real test is when you are facing those obstacles, those things that come to slow you down or to stop you. It is okay. This morning I woke up and I felt like this is the real test right here. Okay. So the last couple of days I've been kind of down, should I say? I've been down. And you ever talk to somebody from your past and that it just kind of vexes your spirit and your soul and it kind of takes over your mind and it just start make you ask a bunch of questions that you don't have any answers to and I've run into this situation not just with that, with tragic news. Something tragic will happen. I have I'll give you one example. I have an relative that would hurt my sister and I when we were young. He would sexually abuse us, right? Now, that started when I was 5 years old, and here I am 46 years old. Here I am 46 years old. And so we're talking 40 years ago, right? Well, that uncle decided to start again with the younger generation of women in my family. And that video got posted. And when that video got posted, it threw me off. Like whatever I thought to achieve on a daily basis, I couldn't. I was so taken back by the fact that this is still happening. Like, how is this still happening? How is he still getting to these kids? And what is, and it wasn't even a kid, it was actually an adult. a young adult, but you know what I mean. It's just like when it happened, it just I was done. I was done. I couldn't even think. It's like my like a shield was over my mind, right? Um, it's that situation, and then it sets you back. You know, you had a goal, you wanted to have something done by a certain time, but then something like that happens, and it just overtakes you. You know, death is something different. Death is, you know, you're allowed that time, and you're allowed to give your time to heal from your you're allowed to give yourself time to heal from everything, right? But what I learned from my life is it's always something. When I used to work at this company, Liberty Mutual, and my boss used to always say, "Girl, you got so much drama in your life. You got so much drama," and I would get so offended. Like, what do you mean I have so much drama? I don't look for drama. I wake up and come to work, take care of my family. And she would always say, "Girl, it's always you always got so much drama," but she would say it to me like it was my fault. I don't have no control over the things that happen in my life. Even my personal trainer now, he'd be like, "Dude, where you been?" I'm like, life happens. Life happens. Life happens. Life takes you off course. And there's nothing worse when somebody starts just verbalizing what you should do when they've never been in a situation and they don't understand how it feel like you have 1,000-pound weights on you and you want to do all of these things, and it's in your mind and it's in your heart, but you can't work that all the way through to action, to reality, right? So um what I have to say about that is, even with those times, right? It takes, the real test is identifying how long you're going to be down, how long you're going to let it get you. Okay. So you got to give it a time frame. You can't be down forever. You know, you have to schedule your downtime, to say, right? And if you don't really, and that sounds stupid, like how can you schedule downtime? Well, you have to schedule a time that you just gonna go get through it anyways. You're gonna do what you got to do, regardless of how you feel, regardless of how unmotivated you are. You're still gonna just do what you got to do. That's what I mean by you have to schedule how much time you're gonna allow yourself to wallow in a pity party, which is what we're doing, which is fine. You know, I'm good with that. But um this morning, I'm just gonna tell you the whole story. And honestly, I guess I hope my husband doesn't ever watch this video. Maybe, I don't know. It's nothing. It's nothing. See, I didn't do anything wrong, so whatever. So I have a friend from my past, and we were friends for so long. And at some point, I valued the friendship. And I feel like he was honest with me. He was like, "Dude, I don't know why you think we friends. We not friends. Like, I want more than a friendship." And I was like, okay, well, that was the point where, you cut that friendship off, And so I did. And it hurt. It hurt because that was just something I thought that we would be friends forever. Like, I just thought that, right? And I cut that friendship off. That friendship went cold and dry for a long, long, long time. Um, and then I had a dream, and my best friend had a dream, and then that person called. The person called up, and and I answered. And the only reason why I answered is because of the dreams that we had. Like, it was just like God was queuing me up to take this call. That's what it felt like. So I took the call. Um, but after the call, I just felt even more perplexed. You know what I mean? I don't know, I felt kind of angry. I felt angry that we couldn't be friends, if that makes any sense. But I also have to respect the boundaries and don't know what it's like for a man or whatever, whatever. I don't know none of that stuff. So if you say this is what it is, this is what it is, and I let that be. But I don't know, I hung up perplexed. And it was just like, for some reason, it was consuming my mind. And I hated that it was consuming my mind. But then it was like it just raised so many questions, right? And then I'm trying to figure out why we had a dreams, and I just took it way deep, right? And what ended up happening is things that I would normally do on a daily basis, I wasn't doing. And I don't know really why I stopped doing them. I don't really, I mean, I'm not about to sit here and have a whole long conversation about it, but I just wasn't. I just didn't feel like it. I didn't feel like it. I felt like laying in the bed. I felt that sadness again. If that's fair to say, I felt that sadness again, and and so this morning I woke up and I got in the shower and I said, well, this is the real test. This is a test that I've been waiting to see if I can pass. Right? Something has happened that has thrown my mind into a different space, my energy into a different space. If no one's ever told you, you are going to feel what you focus on. So the best way to change your feelings is to change your focus. So if you're thinking about something sad, then you're going to feel sad things. And as crazy as it is, you have to intentionally think about something else and do something else, right? This video is going to go over just maybe 2 minutes because I want to get this point out. So it was at that point, through all my past experiences of being through this, through all my setbacks, right, of being through this, I said, okay, stop trying to figure it out. Number one, stop trying to figure it out. That's not for you to figure out. This is the real test. How you going to do today? Are you going to get your ass up? Are you going to do what you have to do? Even if it's just the small stuff. Are you going to get up? Are you going to make this bed up? Are you going to brush your teeth and get dressed today? I mean, are you going to be productive at work? Are you going to be a go-getter? Are you going to finish decorating these presents? I'm decorating my house for Christmas. Are you going to finish putting these decorations up? What are you going to do? How are you going to show up for today? How are you going to I had to decide, how was I going to show up for today? And I had to first acknowledge, okay, you got to stop thinking about this person, right? And you have to stop trying to figure out what happened and why. You have to stop wanting answers. You have to stop all of that. You got a good ass husband, right? So let's focus on what the reality is. And that was number one. So I was like, man, I have the best husband in the world. You know what I mean? My husband protects me. He protects me from everything and everybody. I feel so safe in his arms. He loves me. He loves me so much. You know what I mean? And I love being loved. You know what I mean? I have to focus on what I have right here. He provides for me. He provides for me. He doesn't just give me what we need as a family and take care of this home. He supplies the things that I want. You know what I mean? And I just had to change my focus. And then of course, now I want to touch all over him. I want to, I can't keep my hands off of him. I done got myself all in this zone, in this space. Oh, sorry, I'm congested. So, then I was like, okay, go take your shower. So I went, took my shower, made my bed up, and that's when I said, this is your real test. What you gonna do? So I had to change my focus, and that's just what I have to say. The real test of life is not when everything is going well. Prepare yourself. The real test is going to be when it's not going well, when you've had this horrible argument this morning, when somebody talked about you, somebody betrayed you, when somebody turned their back on you, when they didn't answer, they weren't there for you when they were supposed to be. You know what I mean? Those are going to be the real test. You just got fired from a job, or just things didn't work out the way you thought they would work out. Maybe your kids is giving you the blues, or your spouse, or your boyfriend, your girlfriend. Maybe they're giving you the blues, right? The real test is, are you going to show up for yourself today? And that's what you have to ask yourself. Are you going to show up for yourself today? Are you going to remember the things that matter to you? Are you going to do that? Are you going to think about the things that make you happy? Are you going to try to achieve any of it? Are you going to think about your responsibility? Are you going to focus on the things that are good in your life? Are you going to do that? Are you going to concentrate on not what you don't have, but what you do have? The people that love you, your family. And I didn't have a family for years, so don't even get started if you ain't got no family. Because sometimes what God will do is he will give us friends in place of family. God has a way of supplying. There's times where he pull us off by ourselves. We're in seclusion while he continues to do a work in us, where he builds us up and makes us and molds us. So not everybody is going to even relate to that family thing. But I've been without family. I've been without friends. I've been by myself too. And even when I was by myself and my biggest fear was being alone, what I did, I sat in the mirror and looked at myself and you said, I still got you. And I started writing in my journal. So that's my message for today. I went over 5 minutes. I said I didn't want these videos to really go over 12 minutes. This is a 15-minute video, but the title of this video is The Real Test. And the question for you is, are you going to show up for yourself today? I hope so. Have a great day.